Good evening, everybody. Let me first wish you a very happy Janmashtami. Till now, we have had a very successful time since our new president Kirit Bhai Gala has taken over with his theme of 10x. We started the year with a Rhythm Cafe program. Then we had the Meet the 10x HUS. Then we had the change management in VUCA world, where again our president addressed us. And then finally, we had a very, very successful program at Radisson Lonavala, which was on the 10x Growth Summit. It was really very heartening to get the feedback of the participants. Would love other people also who had missed the summit to keep on participating our events, which add great value, knowledge, networking to you. In the meanwhile, as a head of Listen and Share, we have sent you emails and WhatsApp to take the test of PAT and BDT test. PAT is a personal assessment test and BDT test is of your business diagnostics. Based upon those tests, the feedback which we get from them, we intend to have 3 focus groups of 15 people each, where we'll physically interact with you and try to understand what you want, what you require, what you want us at KCF to do for you. Some people have already taken the test, but in the coming 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, I would request all of you to take up the test. Each test would take not more than 20 minutes. It's very important for us to make a group after you have taken the test and to get your feedback for the further activities at KCF. Today's program on LinkedIn, some of you might already been using it, some people would not be using it. So for them, it's very important to understand what basically is LinkedIn. We use other social medias like Facebook and WhatsApp and all others. On some people, youngsters are using Instagram also, but LinkedIn is different. We also need to know why is it so popular? How does it help in creating the networking opportunities? How it can be used for marketing? Of course, everything cannot be covered in today's session, but we'll have a great start with this session where Neeraj would be speaking for about 45 minutes and 15 minutes about for Q&A or till the time you have your questions. And what is so unique about LinkedIn that Neeraj always keeps on talking about? Please use LinkedIn, please use LinkedIn. So we need to know how it is different from other social media, and finally how to be successful on LinkedIn. So Neeraj always lays a lot of stress on LinkedIn, and that is why we felt that finally we need to have this program. It is now my privilege to introduce you Neeraj. He's, as you know, he's a LinkedIn expert, a digital marketing coach, which he said that after Corona, it really took off. People started working from home and people have started adopting digital marketing. He's also a business mentor. For the last 18 years, he has been educating experts. I have personally known Neeraj for the last 17 years. He has been not only been educating experts, coaches, and consultants to elevate their income, influence, and impact through business networking. I know for 17 years that he is an expert on networking, but my experience with him was on physical networking. But now he comes in a different avatar where he coaches us on the digital networking. So networking as a subject is his core mastery. He helps established consultants, also coaches and experts to supercharge their LinkedIn presence to win $10,000 plus clients in just 15 minutes a day. That's remarkable, Neeraj. Would really looking forward how that's possible using LinkedIn. Neeraj is the founder of Titan Masterminds, his company. He is one of the top 20 mentors and LinkedIn faculty on the Genius U platform. Would also like to understand, Neeraj, from you, what is this Genius U platform? He says that serves a community of 1.7 million entrepreneurs globally. So good to know that you have been mentoring, coaching entrepreneurs across the globe. So not taking more time, Neeraj, over to you and welcome on our platform of KCF. We all are looking forward to your next 60 minutes. Thank you. Over to you, Neeraj.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone is able to hear me clearly. Yes, awesome. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Mukesh Bhai. As you said, we've known each other for 17 years. People have known me for offline networking, but didn't know actually that the whole offline network I got going because of my online activities. So I've been an active online networker for all those years as well. So it's my pleasure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that we keep showing you the platform, okay, rather than keeping this mainly a kind of just simply a learning experience. If you actually see what is on the LinkedIn platform, you will understand it better. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of those particular things. So there will be a mixture of a presentation that I put together with live. I will be sharing things on LinkedIn. Quickly in the chat, we have now about 140 plus people. I wanted to know how many of you currently are using LinkedIn on a regular basis. At least in the last month, have somehow logged in. Okay, you can just maybe okay, very good. And I wanted to know how often do you end up using it? Are you a daily user, weekly user, monthly user? Okay, so lots of daily, some are monthly. Okay, couple of times a week. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so this will allow me to then, and some people are brand new to LinkedIn. Okay, no problem. So we will help you no matter where you are in that journey. So I'd like to help you supercharge your LinkedIn, and I want to help you win high value clients using LinkedIn in only 15 minutes a day. LinkedIn is definitely the place where high value clients are to be found, and I'm going to be showing you that. Just give me a second. I just want to oops, I've lost myself for a moment. Okay, here we go. I want to just pin myself here. Okay. I'm going to change. Okay, here we go. So I've been working with people who have physical products, who may be into coaching, consulting. So whether you have a service or a product, LinkedIn works for you. So Ajit is an interesting example where he is into a physical product, which is signages. And he had not been active on LinkedIn at all for many years. In fact, he had not even been active in his business for a couple of years because of some personal challenge. And then he came to me and we started. And within a couple of weeks, he was able to land the perfect client, which is now generating about 5 lakhs of revenue. Whereas Dipti was looking at working with individuals rather than businesses. And she was looking at people outside of India, and she's been able to sign up lots of great CFO clients, CEO clients for her leadership coaching. So no matter what you are doing, there is typically one challenge that people face with regard to their marketing. And HubSpot has done a research on this, and the number one problem that companies an individuals face worldwide is not generating enough traffic or leads. And then the second biggest problem is making sure that whatever marketing you're doing is providing a positive return on investment. So we will be helping you with definitely those two things. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that you generate new sales. Okay? It's all about generating new sales. So in case we have not yet connected on LinkedIn, if you have the LinkedIn app on your mobile phone, what you can do is in the search bar at the top, there's a little QR code. If you click on that and point it at this particular QR code, then it will automatically send me a connection request so that you and I can be connected. Okay. I will share my URL a little bit later so that people can connect. So if you have that app, just tap on the QR code in the search bar of your mobile app for LinkedIn and then point it at this QR code. And this is something that people don't know about. So then you can actually print this QR code and put it on your business card. So this is a simple, easy way for you to begin to grow your LinkedIn network. You can even put this in your email signature. So these are just different ways in which you can end up immediately using it and have your network grow. So I believe LinkedIn presents an untapped business opportunity for entrepreneurs, but they're missing out simply because they don't know how to use it. And if I look at, I'll come and have a look at chat and things in a little while. But if we look at how the world was initially, we were doing things in very different ways. When we were looking at trying to connect with people, we may take part in conferences, events, we may advertise in magazines. People who are a little bit more digital were looking at Google ads, or people were using billboards. And what do all of these things have in common? They are actually using the traditional way of selling. It's a traditional sales funnel, which is helping people become aware of your product or service, your company, getting them interested, interacting with them further, getting them to express an intent that they want to buy your product, and then having that conversation leading to a sale. What I'm going to say that things have dramatically changed since then, and it's because of COVID. When we went into lockdown, we've had an acceleration of people going online, okay? And social media has changed everything. Just look at this is January 2022. There are now 4.62 billion social media users, okay? On average, they're spending about 2 hours, 27 minutes, okay, on these platforms, okay? So all of these particular platforms have grown massively. The number of people that are using it on a regular basis have grown massively. And if you are not online, then you are invisible. I was sharing a quick story. My cousin's based in New York, and he was launching a new product. And he was at an exhibition where someone had watched the particular demo, was convinced about it, and then refused to place the order, saying, I've looked at LinkedIn, I can't find you. I've looked for your website, I can't find you. You must be not genuine. And literally this guy just did not place the order. So in this day and age, it is imperative to have a social media presence, a website. It is not a nice to have, it is an absolute need to have, and everything needs to be congruent. What's happened now is that platforms like LinkedIn work on a different kind of funnel, which is what I'll call the social selling funnel, where you're able to actually find the right people. You're able to find the needle in a haystack. You're able to connect with them, send them a message, get them interested in you through providing valuable, engaging comments, messages, or publishing content, and then develop a relationship and then invite them to the opportunity to work with you. And it works in a completely different way. So instead of showing this, I would say, more complex diagram, I'm going to simplify it into 5 very simple steps. But firstly, let's look at why LinkedIn, because people don't understand the value that LinkedIn brings to the table, and LinkedIn has changed massively since Microsoft took over LinkedIn. Microsoft bought LinkedIn for $26 billion, and you may be wondering, why would they spend so much money doing so? So since they bought it, it's grown massively. It has now 830 million users worldwide. India now has over 72 million users. So I haven't had a chance to update this. It has now 72 million users. 4 out of 5 people on the platform are decision makers. Okay, and I think everyone in business would like to deal with a decision maker. Not only that, on top of that, 44% of these users earn more than $75,000 per year. So look at that amazing combination. On one side, they're decision makers. On the other side, they're high income earners. Put that together, I think, puts together an amazing opportunity. We would all love to deal with people who can afford to pay, have that extra spending money, and can drive those decisions. And for that reason, I think LinkedIn really wins. The other 2 points are now super important because it has great organic reach, and I'm going to talk more about publishing content and the kind of content that you can end up publishing, and why it is very less crowded than all of the other social media platforms as far as content being published. And lastly, it is something which is hyper targeted. Okay, and I will show you, even on the free version of LinkedIn, how incredible the search functionality is. So literally you are able to find exactly the right kind of person, the kind of prospect that you want to be dealing with. Okay, so for these reasons, LinkedIn wins. Now let's talk about a particular myth that is prevalent, because people think that LinkedIn is only for B2B marketers, for marketers who want to sell to other companies. Yes, if you look at the top right figure, 93% of B2B marketers consider LinkedIn to be the most effective site for lead generation. But look at the figure on the left. 51% of companies acquired a B2C customer through LinkedIn. So it works directly for individuals if you're trying to sell directly to individuals, or if you're looking to sell to companies. It works for both. Okay, so let's look to help you understand this into 5 simple steps, because if you're able to understand this in a simple way, then you will be able to use it. We have to, number 1, position you correctly. We have to know how to find the right people to network with, which is number 2. We need to know how to approach them and connect with them. Then number 4, we need to know how to engage with them. Okay? And finally, how do you transition from just engagement to actually getting them to want to have a conversation with you, which can lead to a sale, okay, which is conversion, which is the 5th step. Okay, so I'm going to break down each part of it and help you understand some key elements which will help you utilize LinkedIn without spending too much time. Okay, firstly, this is someone from Mumbai who sent me a connection request the other day, their photo is not there on the LinkedIn profile. They have no banner. It didn't mention the company they're working with, position they have, nothing. Okay, so imagine going to a networking event, okay, and everyone else is there in their suits and everything, and they're all dressed up, and you are in shorts and t-shirts. It's a little bit like that. If you've not dressed up your LinkedIn profile, if you turn up at this networking event full of business people who are ready to do business, who are all suited and booted and ready, and you turn up like this, then it just lets everyone know that you're not serious. So you don't want to be not taken seriously simply because you didn't fill in just very simple things that could immediately make a positive first impression. Okay, so look at now this, how, imagine receiving a connection request from someone like this, and then receiving a connection request from someone's profile like this, obviously mine, that has been dressed up properly. So, first thing we will look at when we see the profile, and they have analysis of the heat map analysis, where people end up looking, where end up people clicking, okay, is your photo. Okay, and I'm going to show you there's some really cool stuff you're able to do with your photo, where you can turn it into a mini video. Okay, just like how you meet someone at a networking event and you introduce yourself when they ask you what do you do, okay, you can do that on LinkedIn. Then the second thing is that you need to have a good banner which quickly explains what you do. Now, when Mukesh Bhai was introducing me, he said that I help experts, coaches and consultants win 10,000 clients. It's not 10,000 clients, it's high value clients, which in my books is at least $10,000 or more using LinkedIn. Okay, so here it's very clear, what it is that I do. And then just below my name, you can see some key words, which think in terms of search engine optimization. What are some key words that your customers will be looking for, which you can add, rather than the biggest mistake I see people making there is they'll put, I'm managing director or founder of this particular company. Okay, actually, people, unless you are like, say, chairman or CEO of Microsoft, no one cares. So it's better to use some keywords by which you want to be known for and found for, that will make a difference. Okay, so there are many things that you can end up doing there. Okay, I'm going to switch now to actual LinkedIn, so you can actually see some of this. Hold on. Okay, good. Let's do this. I'll share my desktop so I can keep shifting between the presentation and this. Okay, so now this is my profile. Now I'm going to refresh it and you'll see something interesting happen. Look at my photo for a moment. Something will happen. Can you see a little mini video came up on that photo? Okay, now if I click on that, it says here view profile video. Okay, so if I were to click on that.
Hi, I'm Nirvan Shah. It's great to meet you. I'm a LinkedIn expert and I'm also a marketing coach and speaker. I help consultants and coaches to win $10,000 plus clients using LinkedIn in the next 60 days.
So here I've got a little video of me introducing myself, okay, and what I would suggest to you is that you can record this on your mobile phone and upload it directly from your mobile phone. There are some apps which will allow you to even put captions, like I put here captions, because what happens is when people are working in companies and in open offices, they would often have the sound off. Okay, so if they're able to read along with what you're doing, then it's really great. Okay. So all sorts of amazing things are possible, and you can get incredible analytics now. How many people have visited your profile, who's visited your profile, how many people have viewed your posts, how many search appearances have you turned up on. Okay, now you will only turn up on search appearances if your LinkedIn profile has been put together in the right way. If it's not put together in the right way, then this might be only like 10. Okay, so if I were to click on this, okay, I'm able to get so much information, like who's visited. So here there's a whole bunch of you that probably have just come and connected with me. If I want to know which industry people are from, location, all sorts of people I'm able to find. So if I say I want to just see who's from Mumbai and how many people came from Mumbai, okay, then I can get all of this information. Okay, so I just want you to understand that this is not possible in any of the other social media platforms. Okay, you're not able to get information the way that LinkedIn is giving you. Okay, so you're able to get from industries. So I work with a lot of people from financial services. Okay, so here I can see all the people who then have come from financial services, and if I'm not connected to them, it will show me, and then I can check out their profile, see whether they're a good person to connect with, and if I think yes, they might be a good potential partner, customer, supplier, a good person to network with, then I would send them a connection request. Okay, so all sorts of incredible information you are able to get, which again I just want to tell you, you cannot get in any of the other platforms out there. Okay. Okay, so okay, let's do this. I'm gonna come back here. Okay, so this is something very interesting. If you Google yourself, if you Google your name, and if you have a LinkedIn profile, you will find that your LinkedIn profile comes number 1 in Google search. Secondly, LinkedIn itself is a search engine, and there are 6.7 billion searches being done on LinkedIn every year. My question is, do you turn up when people are doing that search? And if you've not set up your profile even correctly, then you lose out. And by a research, particularly if you're dealing with companies, then they will check you out on LinkedIn, just like how my cousin lost out on the order because he didn't have his LinkedIn profile in place. So he rang me in a panic saying, I need to get this sorted, because I'm losing orders literally because of that. Okay, so this is something which is very important. Profiles with a good headshot will receive 21 times more views, 9 times more connection requests, and 36 times more messages. This is research from LinkedIn itself. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a really fun tool, okay, which is the Snapper photo analyzer, which will link to your LinkedIn account, pull out your photo, and it will analyze it to see how good your photo is, and it will give you a score out of 100. Okay, so let's do this together. I'll show you my screen. I'm going to open it up in another and I'll share this in chat. Okay, there I've shared it in chat. So if you just click on it, okay, and then if you click on analyze my photo, it will then ask you to log in and put in your password for LinkedIn, and then you can see here it is scanning the photo, and they have done amazing research on this, and then finally they end up giving you a score. Okay, so you can see here my particular photo is scored 73 out of 100. Now you want to score higher, and if you want to know what it is that you can do to improve it, okay, there's a full analysis below. So here it's telling me like my smile is bad, but I'm sorry, I can't do anything about my smile. That's how I smile, okay? But it tells me all the things that are good, perfect, okay? It doesn't like my background. If I change this to my gray background, then I end up scoring 77 out of 100, okay? And the editing, because it's been done by a professional editor, then it's almost perfect, okay? So you're able to get that score. So if I'd be curious to know, you can put your score in if you'd like to share in the chat. What's your score? I think the highest we've ever had anyone score is, I think someone scored 86 the other day. So I'm just curious if you have tried this out right now. 70, okay, well done, Aniket. That's a good score. Anything 70 and above is good. 75 and above is even better. And 80, wow, 89. Sahili, you must be also a model or something as well. So awesome. That's the highest I've ever come across. Well done. Okay, so let's keep it going. Okay, so when you get your profile and positioning correct, it has a big impact. So in this case, like say Trevor, he was able to get a 400% increase to his views of his profile within 2 weeks. And there's some other social selling index score, which I'm not going to get into today. It's a bit more advanced, okay? That also increased massively. But it was interesting with Amit, who was looking for premium lighting associates. He was able to get 19 new premium lighting associates because he got his LinkedIn profile right. And that generated over 7.5 crores of new business for him. So it really makes a huge difference. Okay, now let's look at what I would call LinkedIn superpower. Is it helps you prospect and network with the right people. So you're able to literally find the right people, okay? So this is what I want you to understand. LinkedIn is the world's biggest business directory with 813 million users, and they are categorized according to their industry, their job title, previous jobs, location, all sorts of amazing things, which universities they've studied at, all of these sorts of things. Okay, so here, if you look at the search filters, okay, here are all the different search filters, keywords, geography. How are you connected to that person? Do you currently have a direct connection to them, or do you have a friend in between, or you're not connected to that person? What industry? School here means not like high school, it means university, because in the US they call university school. First name, last name, job title, function, previous company, all sorts of things, how long they've been part of LinkedIn. Okay, so then what happens is that if you were to do that search, then you'll be able to find the right people. Okay, so let's quickly just show you how to do this. Okay, so if I'm here and I do managing director, because I want to connect with people who are managing directors. Okay, so then you can see these are all the different filters, and if I go to all filters, okay, and then I want people who are not connected to me but we have some friend in common. Okay, and then here you can see on the right, connections. Okay, so maybe I want to connect to someone in I'm just going to put Mumbai. Okay, so it's I'm able to specify that location. Okay, and then I say maybe I want them to be in a particular kind of company. So industry, I want financial services. Okay, so here if I just do that immediately, can you see 721 results? And then I can begin to see kind of you can see which companies they're part of, all sorts of things, and all of these are managing directors. Okay, so isn't that amazing? So you can really begin to get amazing results, and then obviously begin to network with the right people. Okay, so apart from that, apart from being the world's biggest business directory, it is the world's biggest networking event, and the networking is going on 24/7. Okay, so there are different things that are going on, and there's different ways in which you can end up connecting. People are posting and you can end up commenting. You can end up posting. You can end up visiting someone's profile. You can end up messaging. You can end up commenting on people's posts. You can send them meeting requests, even Zoom meeting requests. You can identify groups that are related to common, things, common interests. You could be attending events. They're both online and offline events, and you can see all the people that are attending, and you can begin to network with them in advance. Okay, so imagine these are all the different ways in which you can find the right people to also network with. And if you send them a personalized connection request with a little note, okay, then you are going to get a 10 times better response. Okay, and the way we teach people typically helps them get 6 to 7 out of 10 connection requests they will send out, people will accept, simply because they know how to approach these particular people. Okay, now I've shown you how to position yourself correctly, get your LinkedIn profile right. Then I've shown you how to prospect. Sending them a personalized connection request, commenting on their post will help you connect with them easier. Now let's look at how can you engage with them. Okay, so some different ways in which you can engage. So, and why do you want to be active on the platform? It's not just about dressing up your profile and then waiting for business to come. You've got to be active and actively network on the platform. Why? Because 75% of B2B buyers and 84% of CXO level people use social media to make purchasing decisions. It's vital, and therefore not only being present on the platform but being also active, interacting with these people. Okay. Also, this 50% of LinkedIn members report that they're more likely to buy from a company that they engage with on LinkedIn. Okay, so what is the best way that you can get attention at scale? It is by posting content. Okay, and last year I decided to get very serious about posting content. I was kind of doing it on and off and etc. But then last year I just decided to get very serious, and I was able to get in 1 year 1.1 million views. Okay, so imagine that many people suddenly becoming aware of you. You can see how many likes and comments I've had. 10,000 likes on those particular posts and 4,400 comments. Okay, so what then happens is that if people are seeing you regularly, you are posting valuable information, then people begin to think, wow, who is this person? Let me check out their LinkedIn profile. And that's why having a good LinkedIn profile is very important, because then they take you very seriously. If you begin to do that, you will stand out. Why? Because only 5% of the 830 million people. Okay, so you have 83 crore people, only 4 crore people, no, not even 4 crore people, I would say 42 lakh people are posting regularly. So that means it's less than 5% of the people there. And therefore, if you are posting, you will be seen by all the other people that are not posting but are actively consuming content. Okay, and there are many ways in which you can do that: posts, events, articles, image posts, video posts, or even if you're not posting, commenting on other people's posts can get you seen. And I'll show you some kind of posts that you can end up doing. Now this is something which is really amazing. Okay, not only will you be able to kind of get an idea of how many people viewed your post, but look at this. Which companies do they work for? What is their job title? Which area are they from? All of this information you're able to get. And you can get this on the free version of LinkedIn. You don't have to be on the paid version of LinkedIn. Okay, so I do a lot of work with people who are, kind of IT consultants and things like that, and therefore it's great that like EY, Accenture, IBM, TCS, tons of people, especially that particular post, people ended up seeing. Okay, and I work with a lot of people who are sales or marketing people, but not only that, people who are founders or directors, senior people. So you can see that exactly the right kind of people are seeing it. Why? Because when I network, I make sure I only network with those people. I don't end up, if someone's a student or something like that, I don't end up accepting their connection request because it's not the right kind of people for me to network with. I work with people who are senior, who are established, who've been in business for a long period of time. Okay, because then I can help them generate results, quickly. Now, what's also important to note is that this post can be seen by people all over the world. Since I started posting last year, now 50% of my clients are from overseas and 50% are from India. Okay, so this can help you scale up. If you're just in Mumbai and want to go India-wide, it can help you go India-wide. And if you want to go into other geographies, then this can help you do that incredibly well. So what kind of posts seem to do well? Okay, I would say that things that are document posts, and let me just show you some posts that are doing well. Okay, so let's do this. Let me show you some of my posts on the back end. Give me a second. Typically when the video is streaming, then LinkedIn is a bit slow because some of the bandwidth has been taken up by the video right now. So just give me a moment. It will be coming. Okay, it's taking some time. I'm gonna just try refreshing it. Okay, here we go. Okay, very nice. So here's a particular post that I've done today, and it's a post which is sharing my expertise on marketing. So it's almost like a, like I've written here, it's a mini blog, okay? And it's got a photo of me, and I've already had like some almost 1,200 impressions, okay? This one's one I did yesterday, but this is very interesting, okay? So this one I did 3 days ago, and this is what I call a document post, okay? So it's like a little slide deck, okay? And if you see this, it's had 75,000 impressions. So you can see that this particular post has gone viral, okay? This one I'm talking about how I moved to India. And I've lived in many other countries, and the challenges that I faced in other countries, and why I really appreciate India, and why I've made this my home. I came with a one-way ticket 18 years ago, and I'm explaining it. And it's had some like 8,000 views. Then I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, so I'm doing content which is related to entrepreneurs. Various things, okay? So I'm talking about here, it's a very short post, but again I'm talking about how the world is changing and what are some of the key skills that people will need to work on. And you can see this has had some 8,000 views. So there are many different ways in which you can end up doing. Now if you mix up expertise related posts, business related posts, together with some personal stories, okay, and then from there extracting some sort of what I will call anecdotes, stories, okay, like this one, okay, where I initially went on 10 years ago, I went on a 3-day work week. Why did I do that? How did I do that? Kind of I'm explaining the philosophy behind that. This one was taken kind of live at an event, and then I've explained some of the key learnings about networking in a hybrid world, because in the first half of the day I was networking online with people from all over the world, and then in the evening I was networking in person. And what are some of the lessons? Okay, so there are many different ways in which you can end up doing that. One really important thing that I want you to know about is that you can also, there is a newsletter functionality which is there. So if you are someone who writes long form, or you have people who generate content for you in your company, then I would say that the LinkedIn newsletter is a great way to do that. I've just put the link there, and you can see here I've got currently about 3,200 subscribers, and every time I will create and publish a LinkedIn newsletter, I get all the people that have subscribed get notified in their inbox, in their email inbox, okay? So this is really amazing, because now you're able to generate amazing content, and you can see here you can get quite detailed You can add pictures, all sorts of different things, even like little videos, all sorts of things like that that are there. So yeah, when you share in-depth content like that, it helps you build trust. And in the online world, trust is the most important factor of success. If you are able to build trust quickly through this, because they see you regularly, you share valuable content, you interact with them in a positive, helpful way, okay, you will immediately begin to get business. When people think of your product or service, they will remember you before they remember anyone else. Okay, how's everyone doing right now? Are these things making sense to you? And I can see a lot of questions here with that search functionality. Now, see, you've got to also remember what are different words that people use. Managing director, CEO, MD, vice president. Okay, there may be different words that people use. So if you know what words to search for, then you can begin to get the right people to immediately connect with. So all of those can be relevant to you. Now, Mitesh, one of the questions you're asking is that what's the right size for the document? Okay, so that document post that I showed you initially, I'm going to suggest 1350 height. Okay, why? Because then it takes up a lot more of your mobile phone. Okay, why? Because about 60+% of people log into LinkedIn on their mobile app. Okay, and it is about 1080 pixels wide. So 1350 height and 1080 pixels wide. Okay, that will work very well. Otherwise, you can do the square one, which is 1080 by 1080 pixels. That also works well. It's the same one that Instagram uses for its posts.
Hi Neeraj, we do have a Q&A session, so if you're done with your presentation, then we can start that.
No, I'm just going to share a few two more things, then we can go into Q&A. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so here I set up a LinkedIn event, and I had more than 400 people register. And the cool thing is that LinkedIn then gave me all the people who registered. I could download their all the company, their details, their name, their email ID, their company, the position, all sorts of very vital information. Okay, so that is cool. Then here you can see this is a post of one of my clients which went viral, which she got 643,000 views. Now, the great thing was she didn't even create that content herself. It was one of her clients that created that content, and she copy and pasted and tagged that person saying that, this original post was created by this person, but it really resonated with her, and it really resonated with her audience. And you can see here, then because of a post going viral, she had some 1,800 people come and view her profile, which was almost a 10,000% increase in number of people viewing. So that's why creating good content can really help you become seen. Okay, now let's come to the last point, which is how do you get conversions? And we have been testing many different ways, and we have found the most profitable way is where you use LinkedIn to first get on people's radar, and then you transition people where they get off LinkedIn and join your email list. And this is important. Why? Because the LinkedIn algorithm changes frequently, and sometimes what used to work doesn't work. Whereas if you send someone an email, you are very likely to get directly straight into their inbox. And then when they keep seeing you on LinkedIn and they see you in your email inbox, okay, and people typically check their inbox 15 to 20 times a day, the average business user, okay, then it's an incredible way for which people get to know you, like you, trust you. And then through email, you're able to ask them that, would you, I have this service, would you like to get some help? I have this product which can solve this problem. And then what happens is you get qualified leads, and you can invite people to have a call with you. And this is how conversion happens. Okay. And this is the most profitable way there is. Now, some of you would like a free resource that I'd like to give you, which is this particular thing, which is the Ultimate LinkedIn Profile Checklist. It gives you 8 very specific things to do with your LinkedIn profile, together with some screenshots on what, when you've done it well, what it looks like. So then, you can just go and look at your LinkedIn profile and audit it and confirm whether everything is correct. And if it is, then well and good. If not, it tells you what to do, and you can upgrade your LinkedIn profile. And even if you're not going to be very active on LinkedIn, at least when people Google you and find you on LinkedIn, they are impressed by your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so you can get it here at this point, lp.neerajshah.me. I'll just quickly share this. One moment. I'll share this in the chat as well. Okay, one moment. Yeah, there you go. I've just shared it so you can get it there. So what I will do now is I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm good. I'm done with my presentation, and Karan, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Neeraj. I think this has been quite insightful. I think you founded you help people discover the power of physical networking, and now obviously you're doing that offline as well. So thanks a lot. So just moving on, I think a lot of questions across a big framework. So I'll start off with a very basic question. So people are asking, most of the features that you've shown, are they part of the free account, or do we have to subscribe for premium? And a linked question is, what are the benefits that one gets by going in for a premium account?
Okay, so it's always the most common question, and a lot of the functionality I showed you is available on the free version of LinkedIn. At the beginning of this year, I decided to go for the premium version of LinkedIn. Why? Because what it allows me to do is view all the people that have viewed my profile in the last 90 days. So by doing that, I'm able to identify the right people who are visiting and send them connection requests. So it helps me strategically grow my network. And from that, I've got direct business. People have converted into clients, and high-paying clients and long-term clients have come from that. The premium version, I think, is, I don't know, a couple of thousand rupees, maybe 3,000-4,000 rupees a month. Okay, then there is a sales navigator version. Okay, which is close to about $70 a month. So Yeah, it might be about 6,500 rupees, something like that, where you can get a lot more filtering. Like how I was showing you, you could filter. Okay, you get extra filtering, and I would say that you only end up using Sales Navigator if you really are getting results on the free version of LinkedIn. So let me share a very simple analogy. It says this. Imagine you don't know how to drive and I give you the car keys for a Ferrari. How far are you going to get? Not very far, okay? Even though you've got the best car, okay? So, learn how to drive on the free version of LinkedIn. If you're already generating some traction and business, okay, then you can look to initially go to premium, and then if you're able to get more traction, then you can look at LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Okay.
Thanks, Neeraj. And one of the common question that I've seen is that your focus was more on the individual. A lot of people are asking if they need to create a profile for their company.
Number one, your personal profile, your personal profile has 10 times more visibility than your company page. Okay. Now, please don't try and create a company profile using a personal profile. Okay, it doesn't work. You need to create under your personal profile, you need to create a company page. So I'm just gonna for a moment share this. So if I go to my profile, okay, you can see here that Titan Masterminds, my company, has a company page. So if I click on here and I click on Titan Masterminds, okay, then this is the company page. Okay, but I get 10 times more people viewing my personal profile. Okay, so I'm most active on my personal profile. Yes, you can have a company page and etc., but you won't get the kind of traction that you can expect to get from your personal profile. So posting from your personal profile is what works best.
Okay, understood. And just going back to the earlier question on the premium accounts, one particular person has asked specifically on how does one use the Sales Navigator functionality? Is that something you can briefly explain, or?
No, that's a very complex product that requires its own training for a couple of hours, if not a couple of days.
Got it. Yeah, moving on. I think just a few more questions around use of LinkedIn for hiring, right? Like one is obviously customers and consumers, and there are a few questions that are linked to that. But a lot of people use the platform for hiring or looking for jobs. So is any views? I mean, any comments on that? And
so that can be done through your company page, and your company page allows you then to having a company page. First, all the employees who are past or present can then connect to that and say that they worked for you, okay, or are currently working for you. And then if you have a job posting, then you can post through the company page, okay. And then if you share that on your personal profile, okay, then that will help you get more traction for that post.
Understood. Got it. And then coming on, I think few people are asking that there are certain paid groups that exist within LinkedIn. So like any views on that? Like should people, depending on their interests in those groups, subscribe to those? And
there are right now no paid groups on LinkedIn, okay. And LinkedIn groups were really popular and were doing really well. And then what happened was when Microsoft bought LinkedIn, they had other ideas and they've invested heavily in the platform, and they decided not to spend much time, effort, and money on LinkedIn groups. Okay, so therefore, what's happened is that LinkedIn groups have become a bit of a graveyard. Okay, and a lot of people are now using Facebook groups, and I myself, and although I'm a LinkedIn expert, I use Facebook groups because there's a lot of functionality which is available on Facebook groups that are not really available on LinkedIn. Now, one of the things that we have been recommending to LinkedIn is that, please, invest time, money, and effort on LinkedIn groups, because at one point in time they were the leaders. A lot of the things that are now happening on the Facebook group you can do. But yes, identifying groups that are useful to you can help you identify individuals that are interested in that, and then you can check out their profile, and if you think they are a good person to connect to, and you can mention we're part of this group, and you can send them a connection request, and they're more likely to then accept your connection request.
Understood. There's one particular question, I'm not sure if I've understood that from Akshay Mahadik, but he's asked around, when he accepts a connection, he gets an automatic message for accepting. And maybe
so what LinkedIn is doing is it's kind of prompting you with some canned answers, like the AI is suggesting some responses. Okay, you can either choose to use those or you can just draft your own. So if you think it's appropriate, then why not do that?
Understood. Just moving on, like obviously some people are calling LinkedIn as the new Facebook now. And while most of them stick to professional, updates, question from one person is, should there be emotional or personal posts on LinkedIn?
Yes.
And are there pitfalls to doing that?
Look, as long as you have a point of view, okay, understand that not everyone is going to be impressed by the point of view, and some people may react to it negatively. But at the end of the day, you've got to understand that it's a big world out there, and expressing your point of view and putting personal posts, mixing it with the business type posts, it works really well. There are some personal posts of mine which have like 30,000-40,000 views, and they're very kind of personal anecdotes and stories.
Right. Understood. Thanks. Mitesh is asking, LinkedIn recently asked him to convert his profile to a content creator, which means, people will search, will get option to follow. Is that advisable?
If you're going to be creating content on a regular basis, then yes, I would say please switch on creator mode, okay, which is the thing that he's mentioning. And what will then happen is that it will ask you to choose 5 key hashtags that you want to be known for, and if you create content around those particular hashtags, then your content will be more visible and more discoverable. Okay, plus it gives you a host of new creator tools, which if you don't have creator mode, you don't get access to those tools. So LinkedIn Live, the LinkedIn newsletter, LinkedIn audio events, which is like Clubhouse, okay, all of those 3 things are only accessible if you have put on creator mode.
Got it. I hope that answers the question. Now, just moving on to a more philosophical question. So, like now, trust has become a big factor. Especially a lot of junk requests keep coming. So, there is always this balance whether you should accept a request or not.
Yeah.
Are there any thumb rules that you follow which you can share?
Yes. Yes. There are a couple of them. First of all, go and visit their profile. Okay. If it is not filled in properly, okay, they're not taking the platform seriously. So it's like they're turning up to a serious business networking event in their, I don't know, flip flops and shorts. Okay. So I wouldn't accept. If they have very few connections and you've never heard of this person, you've never heard of the company, be very cautious. Okay. Or if it is someone who you think you know, because there are a lot of fake profiles being created, okay, and then people trying to scam you, okay. So that is also happening, and they will end up using language or things that are not common to that person. So check those particular things out. Then the next criteria that I would use is this someone who could potentially be either a prospect, a supplier, or is an accomplished professional who I wouldn't mind having in my network. Okay, so you want to check those particular things out. And again, this is why I always say that if you see someone with a good profile and see how they're interacting and commenting on others or posting content, that will give you some idea of how genuine those people are. Because the ungenuine people, don't post anything, don't like anything, and they're trying to immediately sell you something. They might even sell you on the first connection request.
Correct. So like for a B2C business, like you did mention the point B2B versus B2C. So obviously, businesses which are targeting retail consumers, they prefer platforms like FB, Facebook, and Instagram, and they also use services of influencers. Is that a missing link is our influencers of a missing link in LinkedIn, or you think?
No. They're huge influences on LinkedIn. So just like there are people with couple of 100,000 followers, even millions of followers. So if they end up endorsing your product or do a post about, it can help you get a whole new set of people that you've never been able to access before.
Okay. So that's something that I was not aware of as well. Sure, thanks. I think just a few last questions. Like one question was, can LinkedIn be used as a research tool, like where you get surveys or feedback?
You can use the polls, and the polls will allow you to do that. Last year the polls were huge, okay, because people overused them. Now they don't have, but yes, for research they work brilliantly well.
Got it. Thanks. Last question from whatever I've got is, can you help professionally make a profile for a business or an individual? Like, does your firm?
I can refer you to people that we trust that will do an awesome job. Okay, I'm not in this kind of thing, so I don't do that. But I work with high level founders. Okay, if you have a marketing resource, then I can definitely work with them and tell you exactly what you need to do. But I don't have time to actually do that work, and I'll refer you to people who I trust.
Great. Thanks, Neeraj. I think that brings us to the end of the questions that we had from the various participants. So, just a big vote of thanks. Sincere thanks to you. I think has been an excellent session. We've had a tremendous response both on Zoom as well as YouTube, 250 plus, which has been great. considering the time of the day and things being back to normal after COVID. So thanks a lot. And I think
Thank
the
you.
insights given by you, I think the audience have obviously appreciated that as well. So thanks again for that. Thanks to all our audience, for coming back on the webinar mode. Although we've said that we will do more physical programs, but I think this program was aptly done on Zoom. I think it made more sense. And so thanks again, and we look forward to more participation from all of you in our upcoming programs. And last, need to specially thank Philip for coordinating and conceiving this program and putting this together. So thanks Mukesh bhai and thanks Philip for all the effort as well.
Arun, we
So
can
thanks,
announce
everyone.
about our next program also.
Yeah, Mukesh bhai, you want to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, so for the members, we are having a next program on 10th of September at Yogi Hall. It is going to be a morning session. The topic is fundraising, both equity as well as debt, again only for members. This being a webinar, we sent out invites to a lot more people. Last year during the corona, when we had free membership, a lot of you had become members so that you can be notified. Some of them have become members, some have not. People who would like to take advantage of our programs can become our members, can go on our website kcfindia.in and go to the membership link. The membership fees are only 5,000 rupees for individual, and for corporate, that is 2 people, it's only 10,000 for a year. So you can choose to become a member and take advantage of all the programs. That's it from me, Karan.
All right.
So
thank
see
you,
you
Mukesh
all
bhai.
on 10th, not to miss, very important program.
Yeah. Thank you, Mukesh bhai. Thanks, Neeraj again, once again, and thanks everyone for the active participation in this wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj.